stability in your building structure? Call us at 713-936-3021 or visit us online at nrgfoam.com for more information. NRG Spray Foam. Building green, living green.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
The program presented or submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to a special edition of Today's Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Armani Cassell, and joining us live today from Los Angeles is Ayodeji Ebeyemi from Los Angeles. Again, welcome from Ayo Charity Foundation.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm. I want to begin with your journey and how you came to the U.S. and how you started Ayo Charity Foundation.
Basically, I was born in Nigeria, Lagos, and that was where I started learning the game of basketball. I was fortunate enough to be invited to a few camps in Nigeria, and then that ultimately led me to invitations to a couple NBA camps in South Africa, Basketball Without Borders, and that's how I got opportunity to come here and complete, my education and be able to get multiple scholarships to college, and then from there, basketball did all that for me. So that's pretty much how that was my journey here to the U.S.
That's excellent. How did you get started with the at Ayo Charity Foundation for the youth? How'd that start?
It's just for me, it was just all about giving back, because if it wasn't for basketball and how people decided to give back to me, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I go home once a year, and I just noticed how how much talent we have back there, how much lack of resources, lack of opportunity, lack of real valuable basketball training they have over there. And I was just like, you know what? There was this one quote that always stuck in my head, is if you get into an elevator and it takes you to the 11th floor, you're not going to hold the elevator up. You're going to send it back down. And I think I'm just fulfilling my duty based on how much it's helped me. And that's how I started this foundation last year.
That's excellent. And so for basketball, both internationally, how, in terms of both the direction from internationally to the United States as well as both abroad, how's basketball structured in Africa as well as compared to the U.S.?
It's different. There's just so many there's a lack of so many things. Just being able to find a gym for kids to practice. Like 90% of the kids work out outdoors. Even me, those are some of the challenges I faced trying to book an indoor basketball court for kids to use in Nigeria, because the indoor courts had, one day it's being rented out for this, it's being rented out for that. I can't really, like the city I'm from, I can't point to 5 indoor basketball gyms that I know of. There's the national one that everybody uses, and there's like 2-3 other ones where you have to pay or know somebody, or 9 times out of 10 they're using it for somebody else. So to start off with, just the infrastructural facilities available is nothing. And then talent, the coaches, in terms of people coaching, there are a few good coaches back there in Nigeria, but I just feel like there's just not enough with enough knowledge that are coming over here, seeing how things are being done here, and going back home to really coach these kids. There are really good coaches back there, but at the end of the day, there's not provision for them to come here every single year to learn, because basketball changes. Most of the things and drills I did in my camp were stuff that are being done in high school and colleges here, and those kids have never seen like 90% of the drills that were done and some of the workouts that were put through. So it's just all about the exposure. And so basically the main things I would say is infrastructural exposure and just awareness is what is lacking over there compared to the opportunities that are here.
And how would for resources, how would our audience, both listening and viewers, how would they be able to get involved with both the charity foundation and international basketball? How could they get involved both in
Uh,
Iowa Charity Foundation?
it would just be, I have a website, I have an Instagram page, it's iocharityfoundation.org.
Okay.
It's funny, after my first, they can go on the website and on my Facebook page, Instagram page, and see literally all the pictures and videos from the camps that I did. And, there's been a lot of positive feedback, and a lot of people, I have high school coaches and various basketball lovers that want to go back with me next year for the 2020 Elite Camp and just be involved. So just through the website, a lot of people, people donate through that to help the cause. I have an annual fundraiser, bowling annual fundraiser that I do every year around like February here in LA. And just, through the website, there's a lot of information, and through the Instagram page, a lot of information where you can do your part if you're interested.
And again, for the future event, there's one coming up next year, and you have multiple.
I sponsor clinics. There's multiple things I do. I sponsor clinics, Charity Foundation clinics every month in Nigeria. Okay. I empower other little academies in Nigeria that do their clinics, and I sponsor those clinics as well. I sponsor a couple kids' housing, sponsor tuition, school uniforms. But the one I actually get on a plane and go to Nigeria for is my elite camp, which is a top 30 elite camp. It's always in August. So throughout the year, all my clinics and all the camps that they run for me, because I have coaches and people stationed down there that do stuff for the foundation. Throughout the year, they let these kids know the better you get and the more dedicated you are, you can make the top 30 elite camp coming in August that DAG's coming for. So people can get involved in whatever they want to, but the one that I physically go down and I invite people, if they want to travel with me, will be the one in August 2020. I do it every year.
And that's mainly for youth in Los Angeles, or is it also mainly just youth across the United States?
For the camps over there in Nigeria?
Yes.
It's youth in Africa. It's mainly for youth in Africa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, that are being trained, but people of all youths, grown-ups, anybody that wants to go and help out and share their knowledge and participate and volunteer. They're more than welcome to come with me, but mostly it's to empower youths in Africa and help them out.
Right. Okay. And finally, another question for general inspiration, both for youth in Africa as well as internationally. Can you tell us about your inspiration for kids who are excited about basketball and want to get better?
It's just so amazing what basketball can do for you, in life. If you take the game real serious, if you dedicate to it, the game will be true to you. I mean, I use myself. That's why when I go back home, I tell them there's no need for you to, obviously it's hard. Everybody plays basketball because they want to be an NBA player, NBA superstar. But, out of a million, probably, 10 or 100 will make it in the NBA, but what happens to the others? And that's where somebody like me comes into play. I mean, basketball, literally, I wasn't able, when I first got an opportunity to come to the United States, I didn't even have enough money to get a flight here. Like 6 of my family members had to put money together for me to get out here. But just through being able to play basketball and dedicate myself to the sport, I was able to go to high school for free. I was able to go to college for free. I was able to get a master's in business for free. Now I work with professional athletes as well. All that was done through basketball. So if you dedicate yourself to the game, basketball, you can use basketball as a tool to get to where you need to get to in life and really, really help and change the life of not just yours, but your family members.
It's a really inspirational story. So it's not just about getting to the NBA, just in case, because of how competitive it really is. So you have multiple options.
Yeah, you can go to school for free. I mean, I went to a school where when I was done my 4 years there, my tuition and housing, boarding, and basketball and covered for me was over $3,000. I would have never been able to afford that. I don't have one single student loan. Basketball took care of all that for me. I mean, that alone is inspiring enough and motivational enough for you to want to play sports.
Absolutely. And thanks so much for sharing your story, both international basketball as well, and how inspirational that is for the youth, both here in the United States as well as in Africa. That's very exciting. And thank you again for sharing your story.
Yeah, I appreciate you. As you guys are aware, the World Basketball World Cup starts this week. Nigeria is on its way there. Nigeria in Africa, so it's going to be very interesting playing against USA and other teams in the World Cup. So it should be interesting. Everybody should tune into the World Cup in China.
And again, that's at what time this weekend? Or it's this weekend?
It starts on the 25th, which is today. I mean, it starts. Sorry, it starts. I think
It's already started.
which is, and
Okay.
I think teams. It's different times. You know, there's plays going on, so it's probably going to start all in the morning throughout the day and
Okay.
different.
All right, we'll definitely Google that and take a look at it and make sure we can view international basketball. That's very exciting. But thanks again for joining me on today's Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Armani Gasol, and thanks again.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands.